Good morning, Chuck.
Morning, Wendy.
So good to see you this morning.
You too.
So we have invited you here this morning because we got the chance to meet you over a year ago when we came traveling through here in beautiful Lake Mojave in Nevada, and we got the chance to hear a little bit about your story, and it was so fascinating. So we would like to ask in more detail, what is your God story? How did Jesus get your attention?
I hurt myself down in the Florida Keys. I couldn't do my job anymore, so I sold my houseboat and headed out on the road. Got to Colorado, up to the mountains, and I had plenty of money, and I just figured I'd drink till I died. And I was alone on a lake and just felt the presence of the Lord, and we started talking. And I said, look, I've read your book. There's no way that I could possibly be a Christian because I do everything wrong. And I got really, really tired and went to bed and woke up, and the next day I'd been delivered of alcohol and drugs, and just my entire life turned around. You know, I went from a foul mouth to a clean mouth, and nothing was the same the next morning. And I've just been a Christian ever since.
That's amazing. So, did you know that Jesus could do that for you? Have you heard of other people?
I'd heard of it, yes. I didn't expect it, and I didn't know he had done anything for me. I just got up and everything had changed. And as the day wore on, and later in the day when I didn't drink and didn't smoke any pot or anything, what's going on? And on the third or fourth day, I said, I think there's something happening here.
That is remarkable. So how many years were you under the influence, or you had an addiction to alcohol and drugs?
From the time I was 18 to 48.
Wow. So that's a miracle that you aren't, one, dead, or mentally damaged, or when you look back over your life, can you see the miracles where God has saved you?
Gosh, yes.
Could you share some of that, please?
Gosh, there's so many of them. Nothing else is coming to mind right now.
How he saved your life. When you look back, you realize, wow, that was God's hand over me, even when I wasn't acknowledging him in my life, but he was protecting me for a reason.
Yes. There's so many of them. The first one was quitting cocaine. It was such an incredible mess. And though I wasn't a Christian yet, you know, I believed in God at the time and all, and I said, if you don't help me get over this, I'm going to be dead in a few days, and I'll never make it to where you want me to be. And I quit that day and never did it again. Car accidents, motorcycle accidents, boat accidents. Like the boat accident, it was dark and another boat went over the top of the boat I was in. I got the propellers in my face right there. It was a real muddy river, the United River in New York. And my cousin was yelling for help when they overturned the boat. And some people came rowing down the river, and as they rowed, I came up on an oar. So many things in my life. I should have been dead so many times. But I just didn't.
Wow. Wow. In your childhood, did you have an upbringing with Christian values and morals?
Zero. Good morals, I guess, but zero God. I remember asking my mother when I was about 5 years old if there was a God. She said, of course there is. And only Christian dog we ever had in the house.
And did you come across any believers on your journey that were witnessing
Lots of times.
to you?
People witnessed to me, and that's how I knew that my life could change if I became a Christian. I thought I had to quit everything to become a Christian. And I knew that wasn't possible because I'd been trying to quit for 15 years.
With that you just shared, because there's so many people now, they're looking in the wrong place for comfort, they're trying to fill the hole that only God can fill. And having had that experience and trying to fill that void with so many other things, what can you say to those kind of people that are so desperate, but they're looking in the wrong places?
You hear everybody saying, you just got to try God and find out that it's not a quitting everything, it's an accepting a different life. And just be willing to let the ugly go and the beautiful start coming out.
So that's surrendering, right?
Yes.
And would you say it's a one-time surrender and everything is perfect?
Daily. No, it definitely isn't perfect. But, no, I never went back to alcohol. I never went back to drugs. It's the renewing of your mind that makes the difference. It's where you let your thought process go, what you listen to, what you watch. That's what makes the difference.
That's huge. That is huge. And it's a daily choice.
Yes.
So how does your life, the way that you're living now, differ from 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago?
It's basically the same without the alcohol and drugs and the dirty mouth and the women and just a peaceful life of being happy where I'm at with what I've got.
That's beautiful. So we see that you're in your kayak. What is all this about? Tell me a little bit more about Lake Mojave. What are you doing here?
Well, I volunteer with the National Park Service, and I clean the beach for them every morning so they don't have to. And I figure that's my little way of paying back, and I spend the summer camped on the beach and clean every morning for a while. And Lake Mojave is so beautiful, it's so clear, it's so much fun to be out on. And my whole life, this was the lifestyle I wanted. I just could never do it because I didn't have enough money, and now that I'm retired and Social Security and my savings that I did before I retired, that I'm quite happy.
So are you telling me you don't live in a brick and mortar house that you go back to after a few months?
Oh gosh, I'd rather be shot. No, I live in my camper. I got a swamp cooler, so when it's hot, I stay nice and cool. And I do it all with solar, no generator.
Is that a dream that you've always wanted?
Yes. Yeah, I really like it, putting out my solar panels. And it's amazing to me that the sun is giving me all that every day. I've got refrigeration, freezers, and fans, lights, microwave, and life is really good.
And no extra bills coming in?
No bills, except for my telephone. And they take that right out of my bank account, so I don't have to think about it. And my car insurance.
That's wonderful.
My ridiculous car insurance.
Mm-hmm. So fast forward 5, 10, 15 years, do you have any dreams or ambitions that the Lord's put in your heart?
Gosh, 15 years. I hope to be with the Lord, I think. No, I would like to do something to make more of a difference in other people's life, just to let them know what I know. But it just doesn't ever seem to work that way. I'm lucky if I can witness to one person a year.
That you may have heard this, that one person could be the next Billy Graham.
Yeah. Could be.
Any last thoughts you want to share or wisdom to anybody who's maybe listening to this?
It's a much better way of life, being surrendered and knowing God than the drugs and alcohol. It's such a mess, it's such a losing place. And you think you're having fun, but actually you're nothing but a slave to it. Being a Christian is being free.
That's beautiful. So true. Well, we really appreciate you sharing your your story with us. And I know there's so much more, but we can do that as part 2 one another time.
Next year.
But God bless you, and may the Lord continue to use you for that one person that may come in your path, maybe even today. Thank you so much.